Brian, listen to me. Stop screaming and start singing.
Now they call you a genius.
Dad,
we are in this together. I am a genius too. Family first. A winner never quits. And a quitter never wins.
Listen to me.
Shut up, Brian.
I would do that.
You disgust me. What's wrong with you?
I'll help you die.
You're a genius. You disgust me. What's wrong with you?
Loves you.
Is this the kind of child I raise?
You're amazing.
Hello? Hello?
Listen to me.
I'm going to
Find the way out and start singing. You need to kill your family.
A winner never quits. And a quitter never wins.
Such a discipline, Brian.
I am disgusted. What's wrong with you?
You need to get back to you. Who you are.
There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to in my room.
Brian, your dad.
In my room.
How many times do I have to tell you this, Brian?
I found a doctor, a very unique doctor for you, Brian. His name is Dr. Landy.
My name is Dr. Eugene Landy, and I am here to save your life, man.
It kills my soul. Hey, hey, hey.
Brian, I spoke to Carl. He's getting you out of here.
Brian, I love you. Get up!
You don't do it all by yourself, Brian. You need us as much as we need you.
Actions and consequences. Fucking sick of hearing yourself say this. I'm talking to nobody, I'm talking to myself. I mean, it's a basic human dilemma that you're dealing with here. You know, and you're human like everybody else. The ironic thing is you're not as special as you think you are. You're given all a good gift.
Hi, it's Atticus Ross, and I'm here with Mix with the Masters. I'm here at the lovely Church Studios, and we're going to talk about a scene from a movie called Love and Mercy. Who wants to do the score to a Brian Wilson film? You know, like one of the best songwriters, I think in Paul McCartney's words, the best songwriter. One of his songs, you know, have God Only Knows, and then some shitty bit of score, and then some other incredible song. It's a film about Brian Wilson, his genius and his demons. I was blown away because it was approached from a completely different perspective to any film about a musician that I'd ever seen. To make a score that sounded like the Beach Boys, that would have sucked because you're not going to be the Beach Boys. So a better approach seemed to be to integrate Brian to this new landscape or use him to create a landscape. I met with the director and I said the only way I'd be able to do it is if Brian gave me all the recordings, not thinking that this would be something that would ever happen. About 2 days later, a big box arrived at my house that had the multitracks to every album Brian had recorded. It was really a kind of treasure trove of material. Like for Good Vibrations, Brian delivered me 68 different versions. And the other thing that he sent me was just hundreds of these stereo files where it would be like the drummer from the Wrecking Crew warming up, you know, the various musicians playing little bits and pieces. You know, there was magic in all these different pieces of audio, and it just became about creating a world of sound that we could reach for or play on top of. Musically, it was a case of doing some stuff to Brian's music that retained its integrity but served the film. Any processing that was done, and all of this I ran past Brian. He is an incredibly generous and adventurous soul, so it felt like it was a journey we took together, and he was very happy at the end, which is the most important thing. This particular piece, which was known as the Bed Montage, if this wasn't right, the rest of the film didn't really work. This is where us as the viewer can get a deeper understanding of Brian's mental place and the forces that kind of drove him, his torments, and also of his release. There's a notion, which if you watch the film will be dispelled, that Brian is a spaced out guy who maybe took too many drugs or something like that, which is entirely not true. I think he only took acid once. And I'm not meaning to speak out of turn or anything. I don't know the truth, and I don't think anyone really knows the truth, but there was certainly some kind of mental illness that hit right after the making of Pet Sounds. What I was also able to get was a variety of 2 tracks where it's him working with the Wrecking Crew, and I can hear him on the talkback, and he's an artist that knows exactly what he wants. He's in command of every aspect of the music, incredibly self-confident, incredibly detail-orientated, and it was a kind of lesson, particularly in today's world where we're spoilt really in terms of, you know, we can record as many tracks as we want and whatnot. I mean, Pet Sounds was all 4 tracks. We start with the voice of his father, and there's a very complicated relationship. It's the actor Bill Camp. We were able to get him to kind of say in certain lines that Brian had told us had always resonated with him, that had haunted him through his life.
Listen to I'm going to find the way out and start singing.
So that's a number of different vocals obviously being treated in different ways to try and form a collage. If you see it in the cinema, they kind of surround you. So if you look at it like a song, it might be like the intro is the voices of his father with the music that we've written to accompany that. And it was important because the bed plays this sort of recurring thematic motif, both visually and as a place, that we hit the headboard at the beginning of In My Room. This is straight off the tape. There's no auto-tune involved here.
In my room, in my room.
As he's reflecting and these images are popping up that we've seen earlier in the film, we know that he's been hit by his father and he lost his hearing in one of his ears. When that hit lands, we go into purely psychedelic territory. We're using that opportunity to accelerate the BPM. It was just really a case of using clever editing and time signature changes to get us into the places that we need to be. The kind of imagery forms an ear. It's done in a very sophisticated way, in my opinion, on Bill Pollard, the director's part. during that break, one of Brian's favourite bands. This is the Four Horsemen that enter. Brian's music. A lot of it is actually guitar. Some synth in there, but all that high stuff, that's definitely guitar. Certainly we were using modular synths and we were using guitar and we were using a lot of the tools that I'd used to make a record. But I was very conscious of the material. And then out of it needs to emerge
It kills my soul. Hey, hey,
So we're still kind of in the trip to some degree, although we're also back into Brian's music. So that would be the third section, Till I Die. Till I Die was recorded, and again I could have got this wrong, but I think it's 1970. By that point, it's definitely 8-track, could be more. So we've got many more things that we can play with in that section. We hit, the chords of Till I Die as Landy throws that glass at him, or the glass of water, saying, "I'm here to save your life," which he nearly took it instead. And then we move into a section that feels recognizable, although it's cloaked in the atmospherics of which we've come out of.
By these things I'll be till I die. These things I'll be.
So those were the vocals from the record. Some of them we stacked. And then I think we were just using, it can be a bit corny these days, a sidechain, but I think we were sidechaining. So we added the horn, but it's processing, grabbing a piece of Till I Die, of the backing track, and then just looping it. But what's cool is the vocal can work over the top of that. I think if you took Brian Wilson out from 1960 onwards, there'd be a big hole in our kind of listening for a number of different reasons, not just his own music, but the music that he influenced or whatever. It's almost like he was trying to work in the way that we work now. And at the time he called it modular. So he would work on these sections, modular sections, that he would then fit together, much the way that we might work on a verse or a chorus or a bridge and be able to loop round it. That sense of modular, it could get out of hand, and it did get out of hand, and it did basically take him down. But for a period of time, he was looking into the future in terms of the technique he was trying to establish within his music making.